Hello guys, welcome to the channel the Amazicellent Hacker. Today I'm going to just talk about find command in Linux. So a couple of examples of how to use them and just make a basic concept on using find. Okay, before getting into the tutorial, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. Okay, I have opened my Kali Linux and VirtualBox. The find command searches one or more directories and their subdirectories recursively for files matching certain criteria. It is pretty much powerful. It contains more than 50 options in rather unusual syntax. Okay, I'm going to show you some examples of how to use find. Okay, so before getting into the examples, I'll just suggest you to go through main page of find. To do that, just type man and find and you'll just open the manual page. Okay, let me zoom it a little bit. So you can see how it works. So find kind of searches for file in directory in a hierarchy. So there is a synopsis also, syntax, how to use it. So there are a bunch of flags. So go through them, just get a basic idea. So you don't need to remember each and everything. Okay, now let me show you how the basic syntax of find works. So you need to specify find in the beginning, then location, then comparison criteria. Okay, then after that the search term that you are actually searching for. Okay, this is how the find syntax look like. Okay, so I have created a bunch of directories in my Linux systems. So you can see here, so I have created these 5 directories and numbered from 1 to 5, and inside each directories I have just spread files with different extension, different name, and different permissions inside them. So I'm going to just use these folders and files to demonstrate how to use find with them. Okay, now let's get to the basic usage of find. So I'm going to we start with a simple example. So I will use find command to find a text file with my channel name, the AC Hacker. Okay, to do that, just type find and dot slash to search in current directory. So if you are searching for root directory, you just give a slash, or now you can just keep dot or period to search in current directory also. Okay, then dash name. You will just need to give the parameter or term we are searching for with this flag, and I'm going to search the AC hacker.text. So this is how the basic syntax of find looks like. Okay, now let's run it. So we got the output. So it's located inside the folder 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is our AC hacker.text, but we kind of got 2 error messages, permission denied. So I kind of changed the permissions inside those folders so that the current user can't access them. So now we need to suppress the error. To do that, just type to angular bracket slash dev null. So it will just pass the standard error to dev null, which means it will just delete the standard error. So this dev null is a black hole. So when you enter anything inside dev null, it will just remove it. So this is the final command, and it will just search for name the AC hacker.text and also will suppress the standard error output. Okay, now let's hit enter and let's check what it finds. Okay, so the find command actually find the same file again, but this time it actually kind of suppress both the standard errors. So you can just check the difference between the first one and the second one. So there are no error messages in second one. So you need to remember this line 2 greater than slash dev null. So now next, if you want to search in root directory, just change period and backslash or period only to the slash. So the slash just represent the root directory. Okay, when you change it, it immediately found uh, out the hacker.txt file, but this time it showed the file with respect to the home directory. You can see here that it's in slash home slash Oscar and slash practice, and then it showed the file. Okay, and next example I'll show you how to the sorts or use find to search for directories. So to do that, you just need to add a new flag named dash type. So the flag named is type, so dash type, and F for file and D for directories. Okay, so now I'm searching for directory, so I give the flag type and D, and let's give the name with a dash name to my channel's name, the AC hacker, and it immediately found a directory named the AC hacker, and it also showed error message. So I already showed you how to suppress the error. So to grade angular bracket slash dev slash null. Okay, now it suppressed the error and just printed the directories only. You can just use dash print comma flag also, but I'm not going to show you that. So okay, for next example, let me show you how to sort a PHP file. You can just sort any files and just give the extension also. It's same as before, just you need to specify the extension at the end of file name. So type F for file and dash name and my channel's name the AC hacker, and we added the .php at last, and let's suppress the error to greater than slash dev slash null, and we got our PHP file also. You can just use dash I name flag also. So dash I in front of name, just it will make the source term case insensitive. Let me clear the screen. Okay, next example, I'll just show you how to use find to search for all PHP extension files in current directory. So just give find and period to search in current directory and search for file type with a dash type and F. Dash name to specify name. Now I'm going to use a wildcard. So star.php, so it will search all the files .php files in the current directory and just suppress the error message. So we got the output. So it found three files, file 5 the AC hacker.php and file 2.php in the current directory. So like that you can just search for text file, mp3 files, video files, just configuration files, just follow the same syntax. Okay, now we are going to the important part. So we'll just now learn how to use find to find files and directories with certain permissions. So I'll introduce new flag dash pom as a permission. Will just come pretty handy while searching for misconfigured files in privilege escalation. So during solving CTFs. Okay, let's get into that. We start by typing find and dot to source in current directory. So we are searching for files. Okay, then we give the permission that using this flag text pom. So we are actually using files with 777 permissions, which means that the file is just readable, writable, and executable by user groups and everyone else. So if you don't know the octal number system file permission, you can just watch the video. I'm gonna I'll leave the link in the description below, and also you can just click the cards above. So before getting into this, just have a basic idea of how the number system file permissions work. Okay, so I'm going to just sort files with permission 777 and suppress the errors. Okay, found out one file. Let's check if the file permission in this file are correct or not. Okay, to do that, just type ls-l. Okay, we can see here that it have read, write, and executed permission in all three scopes. Okay, next let's find files with mm, SCID bits enables and 644 permissions. 644 permissions means it is read and writable by owner and only readable by both groups and everyone else. To do that, just type find dot to search in current directory, searching for file and permissions. Okay, to search for SGID bits enable, we have to just start the first octal number with 2, so to represent SGID, then rest are the same. Let's search 644 and just suppress the error to greater than slash dep slash null. Okay, it found out one file, a PHP file. Let's check its permissions. Okay, the SCID is enabled when it is just readable and writable by owner and only readable by the group and everyone else. Okay, next one, let's search for files with SUID enabled. Okay, to do that, just type first character to 4. Okay, rather than I'm going to now use this basic system. It's not the normal file permission system. I'm just giving this dash u represent user scope in this permissions. The 3 icons represent the user group. Okay, user scope. Okay, then equals to s means the SUID bit is enabled. Okay, let's search it. Okay, there aren't any files with SUID bit enabled. Let's create a file. Let's search it. Okay, this find command just found the file with SUID bits enabled. I just did that. You can check here. Okay, now let's just search for another file with permissions read on only permissions enabled. Okay, to do that, just type file and in permission just type u equals to read only. This will just find the files with read permissions enabled. Let's suppress the error. Okay, so it found a bunch of file. I think all of them has read permissions enabled. Okay, let's use find to just find files using their name and just ignoring case. In that case, just you have to all the rest is same. Just in place of name, you have to give I name, and it will just ignore the cases. Let me search for IC hacker again and suppress the error. Okay, now it found this file. It is actually the cases in both condition are ignored. There is lowercase t and a, but in this file name the uh, t and a are in uppercase. So now you know about the file permissions. So searching this using find command to just search for files with various permissions also. Okay, now let me introduce a new flag named exec. It will just find the files and execute uh, the inputted command in those found files. Okay, to do that, let me just create a new file, name this test, and this let me chmod it 777 to test. Now I'm going to use find command to find this test file and then just change it permission to 666. Okay, to do that, just type find and this dot or period to search in current directory, type file dash perm 777. Okay, now after it found out, let me execute chmod 666 and the curly bracket open and close. So it represent that this curly bracket just represent that the output of find command. So it's a placeholder for each file that the find commands locates. So if it locate this file with permission 777, it will just pass the file to this bracket. It will hold those files, and after that just give backslash and a semicolon. So actually semicolon is needed for this exec command, but so when you use the semicolon, so it will just interfere with the usage of find. So we use this backslash. So this backslash will escape the semicolon. Okay, that's how this line works. Okay, let me run it. Let's check the permission in test. Okay, now the file permission in test are changed to only read and writable in uh, all three scopes. They are read 4, write 2, 6, 6, 6. Previously it was read, write and executable, read, write and executable, read, write and executable. So now you can just use the exec with find also. Okay, let's do another one. This time we are going to just find this test and we are going to delete it. To do that, just type find period dash type file dash in iname test and then dash exec rm. So it will remove backslash and let's suppress the error. Okay, let's check. Okay, now the test file is just removed using this find command. So if this find has pseudo writes, then just we can use find to find in this exec to just escalate the privilege also. Okay, so the video become quite lengthy, so I'm going to continue rest of the usage of find command in next video. I'll just drop the link to that video in the description below. Just click on that link.